The artist views his work, hung for the first time. We're here at the R. Michelson Gallery on Main Street in Northampton for the annual showing of local hero, New York Times bestselling author and illustrator Mo Willems' annual show here that's always a benefit for a local organization.
That's exactly right.
Before we talk about the local organization that this is a benefit for, what's the theme of the show, Mo Willems?
This exhibition is based on my annual sketchbook this year, and it's called 100 Doodles.
Are there actually 100 doodles?
There are
101.
There are 101.
It starts at 0. I noticed this already.
Exactly. It starts at 0. I did the 100, and then on the back cover, I did the final 100.
Why, if it's an annual sketchbook, aren't there 366, given that this is a leap year?
It's been very nice to be on your show, Monte. 100 is a lot. 100 is a lot. 100 is a lot.
100 is a lot.
100 is a lot. So, so I've been doing this sketchbook. I think this is year 31. And I've always said it's a 50-year project, maybe a 40-year project.
Okay.
And so this year was a year where I was like, I just can't come up with anything that, usually it's something I don't get to do, or it's maybe more emotional or something like that. And what I realized was I was stuck, like maybe we all are sometimes. And the way to get unstuck is
Fiber.
How long are these segments?
They're a lot longer now that we're on public radio.
So it's exercises. And it's sort of practice what you preach. I always say just exercise, just doodle, just do something. So I came up with this exercise. What can I make out of 100 numbers? And it was freeing. That's the thing, is just the physical act of doing is freeing. And from there, I decided to go back, and we've made some snack doodle videos where I've done the entire alphabet, and I've done numbers 1 through 31. Different drawings, more improvisational. Again, this year's sketchbook was a inadvertent release.
What is snack?
What is Snack Doodles?
What is Snack
So
Doodles?
you remember, this is a local show, so you remember in Massachusetts we had a pandemic.
Just here.
Yes.
It was an epidemic.
And during that time, I did a couple videos called the Lunch Doodle videos, where I drew and I walked around my studio. And so on the 4-year anniversary, we decided to make a bunch of shorter videos of just drawing exercises called Snack Doodles that are available on my YouTube channel. Can't believe I'm saying that, but there we go. On the Mo Willems Workshop YouTube channel.
We're going to talk about that
Which
in a
is
minute.
the studios put them up. So every week there's a different sort of exercise where I'm playing with a letter and turning it into something. And I'm hoping that you will, and maybe turn it into something different than what I did.
Do people ever send you what they've made working alongside your videos?
I have seen some stuff, and it's really great. And of course, I love the copying, but I love even more the not copying, the sort of growing out of that.
What might be lost, because this is a non-visual medium, is that when you say you were inspired by the numbers, you draw a number.
Yes.
And then whatever that number looks like, you turn into a sketch around it, which is interesting because I've seen you give workshops to kids especially, teaching them how to draw and to doodle. And you basically say, if you can draw
If you can write your name.
if you can write your name, you can do anything.
That's exactly right. Well, and if you write your name, basically, letter is a shape, and your name is a bunch of shapes in the right order, and a cartoon or a doodle is a bunch of shapes in the right order. Mm-hmm. I think for me, what the trick was not falling back on the same thing every time. So sometimes it's a full character, sometimes it's part of a character, sometimes it's a design. Here in the 96, it's a set of word bubbles.
Oh yeah, I like that.
I like 51, this unicorn. Here, 32 is a pregnant lady and with a baby.
Pushing the carriage, so the pregnant belly is the 3, the lump of the 3, and the 2 is the baby carriage.
You got a dragon?
I have a dragon. I've got someone eating ice cream. I've got puppies. I have a minor, a literal minor.
Not
someone
under 18-year-old
18,
person,
right.
yes.
You've got your name.
You've got them too probably somewhere.
Yeah, so here you can see the title is using only numbers for those letters. So it looks like the word doodles, but there's a number 100 inside of it.
I'm wondering, the shape of the numbers inspired a lot of the doodles. are any of these inspired by what might have been going on the day you decided to draw that number? Like something that was more actually happening to you?
Wow.
So I know you've done a lot of work at the Kennedy Center with orchestras. So I see
Yes.
like number 23 is a wacky wild conductor with
Yes.
with hair. Yeah.
I don't know that it's been that specific, but yes, I am doing stuff with the Kennedy Center. I'm just about to do some new stuff. I've got a workshop coming up in September. We're going to do a show called Mo at the NSO, where it's going to be a lot of very, very silly music. And the idea is, you remember Leonard Bernstein hosted a series of concerts for the youth. So imagine a show like that hosted by someone who doesn't know what he's talking about.
Oh, wow, that's great.
Yeah.
It's just like our show.
But I will say one of the things that often I find with nonfiction stuff for kids is it assumes that kids don't know anything. And then we just tell you. And this is the opposite. Kids understand how music makes them feel. So I'm hopefully going to let the audience tell me what's going on rather than me telling the audience what's going on. And we're very excited because I'm co-hosting with Ludwig van Beethoven, who looks very much like the pigeon, but won't admit that he is, in fact, the pigeon.
Don't let the pigeon drive an orchestra.
That's exactly
Absolutely
right.
let the pigeon drive the orchestra.
The beneficiary of this Doodles exhibit here at the R. Michelson Gallery is Grow Food Northampton. I happened to go there the day after these epic floods last July and talk to a bunch of the farmers and people working with Grow Food Northampton. This is the 8th annual benefit exhibition. Why Grow Food Northampton? Why is that something that was important to you? And I'm assuming to your wonderful wife, Cher Willems, who I know is really involved in lots of food justice.
That is exactly right. So Cher does a lot of work with food. We think a lot about our neighbors. These doodles are made possible by a full tummy. There's no way that I could find anything in these shapes that was interesting if I wasn't well fed. Mm-hmm. You know, we were talking about the early days of the pandemic. One of the things that did happen was there was some legislation and some things changed so that a lot of people who would have been very food insecure were less so. Mm-hmm. And a lot of those laws are ending. I have a real concern that food insecurity is going to become greater again. So we wanted to put our dollars, but also to talk about that now, to think of it before it gets worse, to start thinking about how we're going to handle less access to food for folks. And we think that Grow Food Northampton is doing a lot of interesting stuff on a lot of interesting levels. I mean, in terms of education, in terms of what they're doing with food, in terms of land use, all of that stuff is really pretty awesome. And this is just a very small way to say thank you.
It's a great way to support it because you can get this original artwork from none other than Mo Willems.
And they're wonderful.
Yeah, they're great. They're a lot of fun.
You've given the reasons for choosing Grow Food Northampton. Last year it was Empty Arms. How do you choose which charities? Is it always Cher choosing which charities?
You just asked me how to choose which charities.
I said, is it always Cher choosing which charities?
I feel it's a random process, I guess, on some level. It is the two of us talking about what has mattered to us in the last year and what we think is going to matter in the coming year. Look, we're only a drop in the bucket. We're trying to do what we can, and we're just trying, if we can, to remind folks that we have neighbors. And when we see our neighbors, I think we are reminded that we live in a neighborhood. And I think it behooves us to do the best that we can for our neighbors.
It's worth noting that you and Cher have been tremendously generous for the Food Bank of Western Massachusetts, which is mothership hunger when it comes to taking care of our neighbors like that. So thank you publicly once again.
Oh, that's fine. That's fine. It really is the least we can do. Again, anything that I do that is creative, this gallery has got tons of artists, really beautiful work. Anybody who's making stuff that makes you stop and think and go, wow, they probably did that on a full stomach.
Piggy.
It is worth noting that not just you, Mo Willems, as an author, illustrator, especially for kids, is here. You can go see some of the more surreal paintings of Dr. Seuss.
Right.
All of the local artists, illustrator community, Tony Dieter Lizzie, Jarrett J. Krasaska, are all showing here, as well as a bunch of other amazing artists, sculptures.
And I would
Gallery.
say, if you're interested in how picture books are made or interested in wanting to make a picture book, come see this original art, because it will scare you by how hard it is. It will slow you down, but will also give you the determination that not only can you do it, but picture book art is one of the few entertainment industries left where you can be an individual, where anybody's work that's great is great because they are showing who they are in the way that they are. That's really remarkable.
I love that you have to go see your drawings in a safe, though. That makes it extra
Yes,
scary.
that's my
Like, what, are they going to lock me in there?
that's my safe space.
Mo Willems' sketchbook, the 8th incarnation of it here at R. Michelson Gallery, a benefit for Grow Food Northampton. 100 doodles, all based on the numbers between 0 and 100.
If you want to see a number, if there's a number that's special to you,
If you guys are really us, what number are we thinking of?
you're only saying that because it's a year of your birth, I'm sure.
Is it? It was my number in football, but that was
that
for the
right?
same reason.
I am sure that Paul or anyone.
I already
in the
know that looks like an
gallery
alien because
would
I
be-
saw it on
right.
you actually,
Here it is.
is this available, Paul, this poster for people too, or no? Oh yeah.
Ah,
there's also,
there we go, yeah.
there is
I
a
love
giant,
it.
there is a poster that's all 101
But
numbers.
there's a book. There's the sketchbook with all of the pictures in
Yes.
it, which is a little more accessible if
yeah.
you want to see it on a
Right.
handheld scale.
Yeah.
Well, the sketchbook is something that unfortunately I only send to clients and friends. This is something that I've done now. Is it 31 years? So 31 years.
Well, never mind then. Come be friends with
Yes.
Mo Willems, and then you can have a sketchbook.
I get one. I don't know if it is worth all the hassle of befriending me for a booklet that is 32 pages. I think the cost-benefit analysis is you're better off come to the gallery, look at the poster. What's fun about this is it's simple, anyone can do it, but it's also challenging. It's fun to look at things in different ways. And not to get too deep about it, but if there's anything that I think we as a culture could do is look at things in different ways as a practice.
Do you ever play Exquisite Corpse?
I have, and I really enjoy that. I think that's a lot of fun. That's a sort of a fun game to do as well.
And this reminds me of that a little bit. So like somebody takes a piece of paper and folds
Yeah,
it
and
into
fold it
thirds.
over so
Yes.
you can't see what the other person has done, but you see like kind of the lines where it meets up. So
Yeah.
you
That's
can
exactly-
keep
They leave
going.
you 2 little lines to play with, and then you play with it, and then you leave the next person 2 little lines.
And squiggles is a great game too. Just to make a squiggle and then to turn it into something. Any of these things are really, really fun, and it's a way to spend time together and to discover yourself. And what I would say to the grown-ups listening, draw with the kids. If you make it cool, it is cool. And you will find drawing is a physicalized form of empathy. So when you are drawing something, you are empathizing with that thing. So when I am drawing number 69 and figuring out it's an alien, I'm actually thinking about that alien. Where did that alien come from? What is that alien doing? And I become more generous to aliens.
There you go. It's a space alien, just in case you were wondering.
With tentacles.
Yeah.
It's real cute.
It is cute. These are all cute. I love, like, there's this Elvis-looking guy at number 15, a very French kind of Phineas and Ferb maybe inspired
Yes,
number
right,
17.
yes,
I
right.
also
Using the
love that the
triangle.
pigeon made it into the count.
Uh-oh, where's the pigeon?
Very, very good eye. There you go.
The pigeon makes it into everything
That is
somehow.
right.
That's the Easter egg you should know
Yeah.
about. It's an egg laid by a pigeon.
And the reason that it is that number is that is my favorite number.
Is it?
Absolutely. It's prime. You can split it in any different way. It's always symmetrical. And it's the date of my birthday.
We're with Mo Willems. We've been speaking about the pigeon. That is one of the things you are most famous for, as well as Elephant and Piggy and Knuffle Bunny and myriad other things, including being the education artist in residence at the Kennedy Center in Washington, D.C., despite the fact that you live in Northampton. The pigeon has become three-dimensional.
Yes.
With your YouTube channel, the pigeon is now a living thing.
It's a puppet.
Okay, I didn't
It's a
want to
puppet.
call I didn't want to call the pigeon a
we
puppet in
have-
front of
we
you
have-
if it was going to be offensive to the
we-
pigeon.
No, we have some very talented pigeoneers who are taking the pigeon and doing all kinds of crazy stuff. There's a quick little show called The Pigeon Explains, in which the pigeon explains basic things, but again, much like me, doesn't know what he's talking about.
The pigeon explains.
Okay, get out of here. Shoot.
So we get real kids to actually explain how to do those things.
Although you did animation for them, you worked at Sesame Street for a
That's
long time.
right. I was at Sesame Street for a long time, so I do have some experience with puppets and puppeteering. The pigeoneer behind the pigeon is a Sesame guy, young guy named Bradley, unbelievably great with the improvisation. And what I like particularly about this is that this pigeon, A, can do things and I can stay at home.
Nice.
Right. And B is interacting with real kids. And that I'm seeing less and less on Sesame, and that I love. My favorite bits always were the bits where the puppet and the kids were connecting on some sort of deep level. And it's the same thing with the pigeon. The kids are looking right at the pigeon.
Yeah.
Kids are talking to the pigeon. Kids are giving the pigeon advice, also off camera. Just like, you gotta calm down, man. You gotta calm down.
They're not wrong.
No, not wrong. So it's been fun, and this has been part of this sort of larger thing of sort of expanding the universe of these characters, but also expanding the spotlight. Like Bradley Freeman is a great pigeoneer. We've got some great writers. We're doing stuff on a larger scale, and I'm really hoping to widen the spotlight to include other artists, but also to include you, the artist, who is interacting with these things. But we've got lots of videos. We're premiering Knuffle Bunny Across America, which I'm very excited about, where we give a Knuffle Bunny to an interesting kid, and they take it for a day and show what their life is like, which is really great.
Hi, my name is Jeremiah. I'm 8 years old. I live in Lake Worth, Florida, and I'll be a professional hockey player when I grow up. Knuffle Bunny, you're on my team.
There are 3 Knuffle Bunny books, and
Yes.
if you're not crying by the end of the 3rd one, you have
You
no
have
heart or soul.
You have no heart. I hope you would cry. Yeah.
I remember the first time I read that to my then young children, and I just had to stop. Why is Daddy crying all over the book? It's wet now.
It's so great. Well, that's why it's a slick paper.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
Oh, and the concert. We did the comedy concert in
yeah.
San Francisco.
Sketchfest.
Sketchfest.
Not your type of sketching usually,
No.
but hey, it's perfect.
But it's all sketching, right?
Right.
It's all loose and quick and has a point, but is fun. And so Sketchfest, we taped the show, so the whole concert is there. It's got Al Yankovic
My favorite.
singing a song with made-up words that I made up.
And this Mo Willems sketchbook, the 8th incarnation of it here at R. Michelson Gallery, a benefit for Grow Food Northampton, 101 doodles, all based on the numbers between 0 and 100. How long will this be up here, and how long are these available for purchase to support Grow Food Northampton?
These will be up for a month. All of these, even if you decide to buy them in the month of May, our proceeds will still go to Grow Food. Keep putting good in the world.
Yes.
All your good is good. It's all valuable.
Then there was